Coaches, how you doing? My name is PJ Gibbs. I'm the assistant head coach in DC at Golden Gate High School in Naples, Florida. I'm honored to be doing this for Coach Stewart and Coach Simpson, giving a little defensive perspective for the wings and things. I do apologize for the Zoom difficulties yesterday, but I'm going to give you guys everything I have on these two topics, and just wanted to let you know that hopefully get some good stuff out of it. So the first talk I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be talking about how we align and pressure the wing tee. So we don't see a lot of wing tee here in Florida. I did while I was coaching in New Jersey, but I'll give you guys alignment techniques, things that we do in the three safety system. So this week I'm actually going to be releasing my three safety system, the fast and physical three safety defensive system, through All Access Coaching, and it's going to be 15 courses. It's going to have install, practice video, game film, really the origin of the defense in 2020 when I was a head coach for the U17 Japanese team. And the one thing I want to preface it with is we do run some three high stuff, but we're three safety in a sense where we want to get as many athletes on the field to create havoc. That havoc rate is something that we stress really, really a lot here at Golden Gate. And the year before I got here, when I was a head coach up at East Lee, which you'll see some film from that, they were giving up 31 points a game. We knocked that down this year to 19 with 10 interceptions, 3 defensive touchdowns, and a havoc rate of 42%, which means basically on almost half the snaps of every game, we were either getting a sack, a TFL, a turnover, or a touchdown. So I'm really happy with how the kids bought into it. So I'll go over our alignment, the two fronts that we do use, and then I'll talk about the different pressures that we use, and I'll get into some practice film, and I'll get into some, kind of how we installed it through spring football. But we get through some film. All right. So one thing I want to talk about first is this top portion here. So this would be in the wing tee terminology, this would be a loose 500 set. Obviously, if you're facing an option team, which we have in the past, this would be your basic option set for the triple. So our Maverick front. All right. So the R is our rover. Okay, that's our third safety. We have our Mike, our Jack, our Viper, our strong safety, and our free safety, and our 3 down linemen. Now, we use our rover all over the place. He's our chess piece. So he can play up on the line, in the box, in the back end. He has to be your dude. So we'll start out. I'll work from the front and then get to the back. So in our base Maverick front, all right, we're going to auto pinch. So we'll be 2 2s and 2 4s, taking the inside gap, forcing everything to our athletes, making them run laterally. Now, if you're not comfortable with the rover doing that, you can run the pinch to the defensive left side, play a shade in a 5, and make him hands-on, squeeze and spill and things like that. So it's up to you guys. The Mike and the Jack are in 30s. We're reading the guards. We have our 2 overhangs, the Viper and the strong safety. We have our free safety in the middle of the field. I'll talk about him in a second. And our corners are playing inside leverage to take away slants. They're third players, but they're taking away the inside, to play an inside leverage. Now, the free safety, we play him at about 8.5 yards. He's going to flat foot read and key the wing motion to his visual A gap key, so in other words, if this A is going to go in motion, he is now going to get his eyes to this A gap. And he's going to flat foot read everything. So he can help late in the run game. He also knows that if this guy goes in motion, he may be a threat to get vertical up the chute. So if he sees high hat, his eyes will go right to that slot right there. So now if it's high hat both ways, he's going to get into his pedal. So that's how we'll basically install and teach it. One thing that we will do too is if we do get that orbit motion, the Viper or the safety, depending on who goes, will make a lock call. So this corner now is locked, man-to-man, and we're going to bring him off the edge. So if we get counter option back or any kind of waggle, then we're going to be set up, okay? So that's the base alignment for Maverick. It's Maverick green. All right, now let's talk about pressuring. Okay, let's talk about pressuring. All right, so here's our bomb pressure. You guys can see we're gonna take the B gap and the C gap with our D line and our rover. The Mike and the Jack are gonna blitz the A gaps. we will play some form of cover 3, or we'll just go gold. We'll just lock everybody up and play with the free safety over top. With orbit motion rules, still for the Viper, strong safety in the 2 corners. All right. The one thing I do like about the bomb blitz is that if you see tendencies, right? So like if the team's running field or boundary, you can run field bomb only or boundary bomb. You don't have to send both linebackers. Now, hey, if you want to, giddy up, go ahead. And I'm all for it. But again, just make sure that when you guys break down into your tendency report, that's something that you're gonna look at. So that's our bomb pressure. And again, you can run field bomb, boundary bomb, or send both. And I would say start out with playing cover 1, or we call it gold, or gold coverage behind it. Okay. Now, if you guys look at the bottom here, so this is our alternative to the wing set. Now I'll go through wing T, or I'll go through the option. So bubble, we're gonna have our jack and our Viper standing up in the A gaps. Our nose and our rover are playing the 3. Our 2 ends are in 5s. Our Mike is at 5 yards. We're zeroed out here. Everybody's locked up. So even if you get a tight end here, this safety will walk up, and then they have the wings. One thing I want to stress to here, coaches, is that you really need to work on if you're facing wing T or option and you get orbit motion, we got to work on a shuffle, and we do this every day in practice. Shuffle, stand on the inside hip, just like you would track it in a tackling drill. And then when the ball snapped, if he's going around for a rocket toss, he needs to cut not in front of, but behind the mic. Okay. If we do get insert like on belly, all right, these guys would probably make an out call if they're going to run belly here. So block out on the 3, block out on the 5, lead up here. But we have the Viper here. We match their path. The safeties have the wings man to man wherever they go. So they're going to match their path. If we do get a trip set in bubble, all right, we'll just go to cover 3. So in other words, if this guy were to come over the A and be on the line, well, he's ineligible. So we'll apex between the A and the S and put this safety in the middle of the field and just lock him up. Okay, now against wing T teams, the ends will be in 5s and they'll be squeeze spill guys. Against option teams, everybody here has dive. All right, and we got the numbers, right? We're 4 on 3. So the nose, jack, Viper, rover, you are all dive players. 2 quarterback players. He's all 3, dive, QB to pitch. These guys obviously have the wings man to man. So that's how you can help you with the basic wing T stuff and the triple option stuff. But again, really stress with those safeties. You really need to work on that shuffle technique and make sure they always go behind the mic. All right, they don't cut the mic off and go in front. Okay. And here's Maverick bomb to that unbalanced set like we talked about, all right, where the safety is going to apex it, and we put this dude in the middle of the field. Okay. All right. So again, now here's the thing. If we got motion here, he can go. He's ineligible. He knows he's locked. All right. I really like that, especially against teams that are going to try to run counter option or any type of boot back away from the motion. Show you guys some game clips here. All right, so here we are in Maverick. All right, here these guys are in. They're in 900 personnel. So tight end wing, backs away with the wide receiver. So here's our overhang. You're going to see motion. You're going to see the back going. Here's our free. Here's our other overhang. Here's our 2 inside backers. Okay, and we're pinching. Okay, they try to run belly there. We did a good job pinching. This is back when I was up the head coach at East Lee. So this was like really the first true wing T team that I'd ever faced in Florida as a head coach. This was Mariner High School on Cape Coral. So we pinched there. And like I said, our guys do a good job. Free safeties coming late. Okay, now here's tight end wing, the 2 wideouts. I'll show you guys how we will attack this with the 3 high, but this is still our Maverick. Our overhang, we're shade 5, overhang, 2 backers, and then our free, and we're zeroed out here on these guys. All right, we're pinching the interior. Here, our backers do a really good job because they go down out on the belly, so they block down on the nose and they block out on the 5. And these guys do a real good job. We always tell our guys that they're going to work on a string, right? They're working on a string. So always forcing everything back to each other with their inside shoulders. Okay, great job here. All right, minimal gain. Minimal gain. Really, really good job by our guys there. Okay, so again, here we are in Maverick. Here we are in Maverick. Okay, so they're in a 100 set now. Okay, 100 set. Tight end wing to the right, receiver to the left, backs away. Overhang, overhang, 2 inside backers, free safety. You see our overhang is going to come because we got orbit. Okay, they try to run trap. We were pinching there. Okay, it also doesn't hurt that one of your D linemen is 6'2", 270 either. Our guys do a really good job on the trap. They're getting underneath. You guys can see that with the pinch. Okay, overhang's coming. Get underneath the trap. Good job. Great job. Great job by our D line there. And all our guys running to the football. Awesome job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so going back to that tight end wing with the twin set, this is how we'll install. You guys check out the bottom here. So we'll have we'll be a 3-5 away. Will be a shade 3 with the jack up on. Now again, you can put the rover there, the jack there. This is just how we start it because the jack's going to be up in a lot of our 4-down looks. So we want to get him comfortable up on the tight end. So basically, we'll be playing hard corner, hard Tampa 2 here. The jack is going to board drill the Y, take away the C gap, so the Mike's gapped up. All right, the safety now is responsible for the A gap. Okay, and then we obviously we're zeroed out over here, but that's our eagle check. All right, eagle check. So we'll just slide away. All right, we'll slide away. So shade 3. All right, 3-5 with a head up 8, and he'll take the inside C gap. So he'll make contact with the Y, get underneath. We have the Viper outside for force. All right, Mike is gapped up to run. Safety is responsible for the A gap, and obviously we have our Tampa 2 safety over top of everything. All right, but that's how we'll start and base install that with those wing sets. So now here we'll talk about. We'll show you guys these pressures. Moxie will pressure to the wing. It's a good simulator showing 6 Russian 4. All right, and then our bailer, our bomb, okay, which we actually will turn into sooner with if you want to send the rover. Okay. All right, so let me get to our. All right, so here. Okay, here we go. This is our Army pressure here. All right, so again, if this wasn't a tight end or an extra tackle, this would be a wing. We have the rover up here, our Army pressure. All right, our Army pressure. All right, so we're sending the linebacker in the A gap here. Okay, the nose goes the wrong way. The nose should be going here. All right, and then our backer here, so we put stress on the center. So here's the wing, here's our rover, okay? Okay, and that's with no pressure there, okay? So we're slanting the nose. Slanting the nose. Okay, our four-eye does a really good job of coming off that. So we have our rover here as our edge guy. Okay, down in the red zone here, so we're actually doubling 2 guys. Okay, our rover has the wing, man-to-man. All right, he does a real good job of fighting back cross face, and the jack is clean. So 0, 4-eye, so really a mint front with the rover walked up, taking the wing man-to-man. We're doubling this receiver into the boundary. All right, and we're doubling this receiver over here. All right, we have our jack and our Mike. Okay, nice play by our guys there out of our base look. Okay, so here's Moxie. All right, so here's Moxie. So what I would say is for the wing set stuff, guys. And now, obviously, if you're getting like double tight, double wing, it's going to be a rugby match, right? It's like playing the single wing. So I would say, like, if you're going to face teams that are running like the 400, 600 series, or you can run this to 1 in 900, lose 5, definitely run this against. So here's how we're going to do it. All right, we're going to get an end jet in here. All right, we're going to get a slant here. We're going to get this end here to here. All right, the mic is going to loop in the B gap. So I would say this would be a pretty good stun against. You want to show this away to the wing, and you want the mic wrapping where they would, if it's a belly tendency, that would definitely be something that I would suggest. The jack now is going to look, if he gets a high hat read, he's dropping to the hash. If he gets a down block, now he's going to fit. Okay, now he's going to fit. All right, so you guys will see here. We're playing trap up top. Here comes the mic. Okay, but you guys can see how if you're going to get a belly right here, you get a clean. All right, especially if you're showing. Okay, right now, if they're going to run belly over here, they're going to go out. All right, well, he's slanting here, and now you got the mic wrapping. Okay, so good weak side stun against belly and waggle. That's why I like Moxie. Okay, here's Army. All right, so power, anytime there's a guard pulling. All right, so Army, we're going to slant the nose to the back, and we're bringing the backer away from the back in the A gap. Okay, you see it's a creep pressure for us, creeper. Okay, now the back switch, so here we go. Giddy up. Okay, see, we can see our guy creeping, right? Nose, clean, right? So picture this as if you have a down block here, right? And this guy's trying to get out. Now we got immediate pressure right here. All right, so Army against power, down, buck. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. I highly suggest that. Okay, here's Moxie again. So again, here we go. Let's say that here we're to the weak side here. We're going to get waggle or belly. Okay, so again, we're going to get this. He's upfield. Okay, and now we're going to get him to here. Okay, we're going to get the mic. We're going to get the mic wrapping for the B gap. Okay, now the rover, he's responsible for number 3, who's in the backfield right now. So he's reading run to pass. The only time he'll get out is if he reads pass and drops to the hole, or if you have a 3-by-1 set because he's going to run down the middle of the field with number 3. He gets his hands on that there. Should have been a pick. All right. Well, you see nose messes up here. He's got to get here to open this B gap. See how he doesn't slant? So if he slants, now look at this B gap. Look how wide that B gap's open for the mic. Great job out of rover. Boom. Okay, here's Army again. Okay, they do a good job picking it up there. But again, I want you guys to think about it in the conception of the wing, right? Okay, so if he does blitz and this guy does pull, we're going to get flat down the line and follow. We're going to make that TFL. All right. But again, I like it's double A gap. It really messes with the rules. Okay, so Sinbad, probably one of my most favorite pressures against any type of to the back, any type of man protection. This is good against belly, waggle, any weak side run game in the wing T. All right, let me get to the end zone view here. All right, so here's what we're looking at, guys. All right, so you have your 5 technique. He's going to jet. Okay, the nose. Okay, the nose is going to slant to the strong A gap. The mic is going to cross in the weak A gap. The safety, or in this case, our rover, you're going to see 7 come over. All right, he's going to go in the weak. So why do we call it Sinbad? Because it's safety in the B gap. So Sinbad, safety in the B gap. One of the first blitzes I learned as a player in high school, and I've been using it ever since I got into coaching high school football. But it's a 4-man overload. Okay, you guys can see. All right, and you're going to see it's going to get some really good pressure on the quarterback. And again, if you think about it from a weak side, here goes 7 right now. Look at this. Look at this, how big the B gap is. Okay. Ends needs to do a better job. Like you got to get wide. Like jet, get wide, set the edge. Because now the quarterback pulls up, right? Now the quarterback pulls up. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing right there. That is a beautiful thing right there. Okay. Now, okay, so we're saying that here's a wing here in the boundary. So you get a boundary. So you get a team that likes to run buck into the boundary or speed option into the boundary. Since he's a great blitz, we have 6 blitzes out of this mugged look. All right. So everybody's going to slant to the field. The corner's coming hot. We're trapping the boundary. So you'll see we have run support here. Safety's down. Your middle safety's over top. Corner's coming. Right here. Didn't even account for the corner. Boom. Okay. Great job. Okay, great job by the corner. Great job there. Okay, so again, and we're covered over top here. All right, I'd like the safety, the trap safety to be a little bit more aggressive. This is spring, so right. He's got to come up and see how he kind of accepts it. Come on, man, let's go. Giddy up, get moving. All right, help this guy out. Okay, help this guy out. But good job by our D line. All right, obviously corners unblocked. He needs to make that play, which he does. Okay, so 2 fronts that we put in the spring. One I'll talk about here is our slide front. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to pre-snap, line up, and over. Okay, so 3-5 to the Viper, shade, and then he's up on the tight end. Okay, and then the Mike's going to say move, and we're going to stem to mint. So you're going to see them go down to 2 4 eyes and a 0. And again, when you talk about rules, right, you talk about rules. Okay, so he has a tight end, or if this was a wing, he'd be in a 5 and have him man-to-man. Okay. All right, we're playing trap here. Okay, we're playing trap here. But again, if you think about it from a rule perspective, pre-snap, we're lined up and over. Okay, so let's say they have something called over here. They get a line call, right? And now we stem to it. Okay, and here's the thing, guys. I like the slide stuff when you're facing a team that is like a tempo team. Now, again, there's 2 types of tempo. There's like the Tennessee tempo, right, where it's go, go, go. And then there's the tempo where the guys just run to the line and stand there and look at a card or signals for 20 seconds. So when you guys do your breakdown, one thing we'll do when we face a tempo team is when do they want to snap the ball, okay, on the play clock. All right, when charting when they want to snap the ball, because then will tell us when we need to stem, if that makes sense. Okay, so slide again over to the Viper, move call, and we stem to mint. Okay, now what you can do is build off that. Is you can put the crawl stuff in, is where you start out in mint and then you stem to over. Okay, so crawl, this would be, if we wanted to go crawl, we'd line up like this, and then we would stem back to the Viper. So then we would be 3-5 shade, and then we'd play a game here with the rover. Okay, we might put him in a head up and have him take the C gap. Just all depends on what we want to do. Okay. All right, so this was single wing with East. I'll go through a couple clips here because I want to get into that more in the next talk. But we were really like a 110 guys. We really had 1 D lineman and just a bunch of athletes, and this is like a rugby scrum because I want to show you a stunt here in the next couple clips. But here's one of the plays, wing counter. Okay, we get kicked here. That's our rover down on the line. But our 3 technique, who really is a linebacker, stand-up linebacker, comes back and makes a heck of a play. Okay, all right. So this is our sniper stunt here. So Chris was usually our safety back. All right, he's going to blitz, and his aiming point is the apex between the wing and the sniffer. He does a really good job of creating some chaos here. Great job. So that again, that's that sniper pressure. And again, you guys can run it. You can run it to a regular wing set. Okay, just have them apex it, knowing you have force outside. Just have them hit that apex spot. Whether the sniffer's not there, if it's a, let's say it's a 400 formation. All right, you want them going in between the tight end and the wing. You know, whatever, whatever you guys just get an extra hat in the box. Tendency shown, does a good job there. Beats the down block. Okay, and that was second and long. Okay. Guys, I really appreciate, and again, I apologize for the Zoom stuff yesterday, but I'm really, really excited. If you guys have any questions, if you guys need anything, please contact me. My Twitter is real easy. It's at Coach PJ Gibbs, and the Twitter for the Fast and Physical system is at Gibbs Defense, and I'll have a website out with extra resources. We got workbooks that are going to go with the system. So the website hopefully should be up and running by this Friday. But I can't thank you guys again, and I appreciate you taking the time.